Welcome back to another session of biology, that is part 5th of reproduction in organism. In our previous videos we have seen asexual reproduction, then we have seen we have started in the part 4th sexual reproduction, and that we have seen different events and different phases of life cycle. Now let me proceed with part 5th, that is event in sexual reproduction. What are the events which are going to carry out in sexual reproduction? So the events which are going to carry out in the sexual reproduction are pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. My dear students, you are going to see pre-fertilization events. In that you are going to see, in pre-fertilization you are going to see what do you mean by gametogenesis and how gametes are getting transferred. So there are two main events you can see. One is pre-fertilization. Soon after that you are going to see fertilization. Then the last event you are going to see as post-fertilization event. It involves the formation of zygote and embryogenesis. So these four events are very important, like gametogenesis and gamete transfer in pre-fertilization. It will ask for 2 marks question, what are the events in sexual reproduction? So what you are supposed to write? The events in sexual reproduction are pre-fertilization. It involves gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Second one, post-fertilization event. It involves the formation of zygote and embryogenesis. Now coming to the first one, that is pre-fertilization. In that, let me explain you about gametogenesis. What do you mean by gametogenesis? How many types of gametes are there and what we call to them? Each and everything you are supposed to remember clearly with examples. So gametogenesis, the name itself tell you, it is a process of formation of male and female haploid gametes. My dear students, always I have said you, gametes are haploid in nature. So the formation of male and female haploid gamete, this process we call it as gametogenesis. Now you should know about what kind of gametes are there. What are the nature of the gametes? So the first one is homogametes or isogametes. Both the names are similar, but different authors have used different terms. So both the terms you are supposed to remember. Homogametes also you can use, and isogametes. These gametes, the gametes who are morphologically similar, the male and female gamete who are similar, you cannot identify which is male and which is female. The structure remain the same, size remain the same, each and every component remain the same. So you cannot make out which is male and female. Morphologically means externally, the external appearance of male and female gamete are very similar, look alike, photocopy of each other. Such gametes we call it as homogametes or isogametes. Next type of gamete is heterogametes. These gametes are morphologically different. Easily you can identify which is male and which is female. Like female will be large in size, it will not move, and male will be smaller in size and it is motile. In the sense, structurally, externally, the structure of male and female differs. Such gametes we call it as heterogametes. The gametes who are different. The gametes who are morphologically different, such gametes we call it as heterogametes. Like anthrozoids or sperm, we call it as male gamete. For the male gamete, we call it as anthrozoid or sperm. And in case of female gamete, they produces egg or ova. So male gamete, the name are anthrozoid and sperm, and the female gamete usually we call they produces egg or ovum. So please do remember, in the gametogenesis, first you are supposed to write the definition. The process of formation of male and female haploid gamete is known as gametogenesis. So gametes are of different kind, homogamete or isogamete or heterogametes. Now there is a picture in front of you which is going to show you chromosomal number in myocyte. So my dear students, you should know what are myocytes. In diploid organism, the organism who are containing double number of chromosome, 2n number of chromosome, we call them as a diploid organism. Specialized cells are called myocytes. So what are myocytes? These are the gamete of mother cell which undergo meiosis. Okay, at the end of meiosis, only one set of chromosomes are present. We call them as myocytes. So here there is a picture which shows you myocyte of a particular organism and their chromosome in the haploid condition. So the human being, the myocyte, the chromosomal number, that is diploid condition, will be 46 and n number it will be 23. In the same way, housefly will have 2n number 12, so you are supposed to write there as a 6. The rat will have the n number of chromosome, that is 21. So double of 21 is 42. So 42 you are supposed to write it in your blank space. I hope you know this. The number, diploid number of chromosomes, we call it as myocyte. They are the specialized cells called myocyte present in diploid organisms. So by seeing the myocyte, you can write chromosome number in gametes, or by seeing the chromosome number in gamete, you can easily write the myocytes. Usually in the exam, they will ask you what is the myocyte of a particular organism in CET. Now coming to the next concept, that is sexuality in organism. Organism will show different sexuality in them. So let me try to understand what is the sexuality in different organism. First one is homothallic or monoecious. Please do remember both the names, homothallic or monoecious. It is the bisexual condition in fungi and plants. In this, both male and female reproductive structure are present in single individual. If you consider the single individual, in a single individual, you are going to see male as well as female reproductive structures. Or if you are considering in a plants or a simple organism like fungi, both will have, in a single plant, you are going to see male as well as female reproductive structure. Like you are going to see your anthers and you are going to see your ovary. Pistil and stamens are present in the same plant. Such plant we call it as homothallic or monoecious. Generally we are calling it as bisexual. Hibiscus, the best example is hibiscus and rose. Both are bisexual. So coming to the next one, that is heterothallic or dioecious. It is the unisexual condition in plants. In this, male and female reproductive part are found in different flower. So a plant which will possess either male or female reproductive part in it, either it may have a male reproductive part in one plant, another female reproductive part will be present in another plant. So we call it as dioecious or heterothallic condition. Like a male flower, we call it as staminate, which bears only stamens. And the female flower, we call it as pistillate, which bears only pistil. You know what is staminate, stamen, which contains stamen. The stamen contain anther. In the same way, pistil contain stigma, style and ovary. So if a plant contain only stamen, we call it as staminate. If a plant contain only the pistil, we call it as pistillate. And if both are present in them, we call them as monoecious. If either only male is present, and only a plant contain only either male or female, we call it as dioecious or heterothallic condition. Let me quote an example for a monoecious or homothallic. For example, for monoecious plant are cucurbita. Monoecious, we can give an example like cucurbita. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. Now, For the dioecious, we can give an example for the plant papaya or date palm. Date palm and papaya are the examples for dioecious, means they contain either male or female part in them. So coming to the sexuality in the animals are said to be hermaphrodite or bisexual if they possess both male and female reproductive organ in the same organism. An animal which contain both male and female reproductive part in them, such animals we call them as hermaphrodite or bisexual animal. Examples are tapeworm, earthworm, sponges, leech, etc. For in case of plant, you have seen they are cucurbits. Cucurbits are the best examples for monoecious or homothallic or bisexual. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. So coconuts and cucurbits in case of plants. In case of animals, tapeworm, earthworm, sponges and leech. And in case of plants, we call them as homothallic, monoecious. In case of animals, we call it hermaphrodite or bisexual. Please, you are supposed to mention the names particularly meant for animals and particularly meant for plants. Plants, you cannot say hermaphrodites. You are supposed to use homothallic or monoecious. And in case of animals, you are supposed to use hermaphrodite and bisexual or bisexual. Please do remember the names as well as the examples. In case of the plants, examples are cucurbits and coconuts. In case of the animals, I have quoted here tapeworm, earthworm, sponges, leech, etc. So coming to the unisexual animals, or in case of there, we call them as dioecious. I hope you remember. Animals having only male or female reproductive organ, we call it as unisexual animal. Example, cockroach, insect, birds, fishes, amphibians and mammals. So male and female reproductive parts are present in different organism. Such organism we call it as unisexual animals. Please do remember the terms which are used for particular plant and animals with their examples. Thank you. We'll continue our Part 6 in the next session.